Boker Tov, the video is Leila Nishmas Shmo Baruch Nuchaim Tzidoy. This morning I was speaking in shul, something that I think is such an incredible chizuk. Mamish, I couldn't hold back from quickly putting this on the video. So we spoke about the Yetzer Hara's, one of the Yetzer Hara's favorite tricks, and that is Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum. What does that mean? That there's a mitzvah and an incredible segula. It really is a segula. You know, people are very into segulas. This is one of the greatest segulas because the Gemara says if someone is careful to be doing Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, which basically means to prepare the parsha, and we'll see soon a deeper pshat. So the idea is to read the parsha, the psukim twice, and then read the targum, a translation. So if someone does that, the Gemara says Masechas Brachas that they are going to have longevity. So first of all, the Yetzer Hara's trick is not to get people to do it, and they always say one of the biggest excuses: I just don't have time. Someone that learns all day doesn't have time. Someone that works all day doesn't have time. So this is the trick of the Yetzer Hara. So we were speaking about number one. It's interesting. It's in Siman, in the Shulchan Aruch, in Hilchos Shabbos, in Siman Reish Pei Hei, which means rafeh, which means weak. There's a weakness in it, and it's something obviously so powerful. If you look in the Piskei Teshuvos, he discusses all the segulas and the protection that one gets from doing Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum. It's interesting also that I was looking around, I couldn't find Piskei Teshuvos. I don't know, dear sure, if anyone out there in this incredible group of Talmidei Chachamim knows the status of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum women. To me, it's made, if you look into the depth of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, would make sense that women also, they have a mitzvah, even though they have a chiv Talmud Torah, but they have a mitzvah to know what the Torah says, especially mitzvahs that pertain to them, and therefore the Mikra really gives a deeper understanding. And I'll give you an example. There are two places at least where the benefit of doing what's called Targum and the original Targum, which is Onkelos, is mind-boggling. Two chidushim that you could just so easily miss. And one of them is in this week's Parsha. The other one, my favorite, we'll speak of it another time. And that is, in the beginning of the Parsha, it tells us something that now I realize perhaps we've been falling into this trap for years. We spoke yesterday about the unity, and especially unity through Torah. I think humbly that one of the simple understandings of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, this concept of learning the Parsha each week, is because it was actually goes back to the time of Ezra Sofer. And the takana, the institution of learning Torah, and also goes back dates to Moshe Rabbeinu, that they shouldn't go 3 days without learning. But I think the Aruch HaShulchan mentions this from takana, says it's a very early institution, a very early mitzvah. Some say it's an extension of the mitzvah of learning Torah. I also think that this is one of the most powerful ways of unifying the Jewish people. Every week we get ready, and the Beis Yosef quotes this concept also, we get ready for the Parsha, which means the whole week everyone in Klal Yisrael are preparing themselves and learning the same thing. The messages of the week are always in the Parsha. What's the beginning of this week's Parsha? There's a pasuk that says about the brothers and Yosef. It says, they hated him and they couldn't speak to him in peace. Now we know this was the cause. This is the reason why we're still in Galus, like we mentioned before. We are still in exile because of Sinas Chinam. It started with the brothers. It goes back to the brothers. But wait a minute, the Torah says they couldn't speak to him in peace. This is something that until today people say, I can't get along with this person. I can't stand this person. I can't believe it. I can't. And wait a minute, they have a good excuse. Look in the Targum Onkelos. Says the Targum, V'lo yochlu echov. The real translation is, because this is from Har Sinai, V'lo tzovi. They hated him. V'lo tzovi. That's what the Targum says. What is the word tzovi? You can't skip this word. Tzovi in Aramaic means they didn't want. Which means that the Torah is telling us that for generations, we read the pasuk, look, and even in Art Scroll, it says the simple translation, but it's wrong. Because the simple translation would be, they couldn't speak to him in peace. They couldn't. It means they couldn't. They didn't have the ability. Targum Onkelos says it's not true. They didn't want. And this is something that we have to keep in mind. There is no such thing as something that God gave us that we can't. And especially to be able to love every Jew. If God commanded us, we could. And mistranslation of this pasuk, it allows us to think that we can't. And that's the power of Shnai Mikveh Targum. Hatzlachat everyone. Have an amazing day.